What's up, Belle or Dr. Grissom, whoever's watching this cool little lecture video. I'm going to be talking to you about software architecture. Pretty much what software architecture is like a live painting. Pretty much like, I think of Bob Ross when you showed the slide, how like they kind of like paint as they go, and it's like a really, like they envision what they want to do, and then they begin painting, and then they complete their masterpiece. So we need to envision our software, we need to do our envisioning of software is called architecture. So it's like the blueprint of our system. This we like you said that we don't often plan our architecture well, and we decide that we want new features or realize we get it wrong all the time. Excuse me, but yeah. And then there's like, so if we do an architectural plan, we'll end up with something really nice. And if we lack of architectural planning, we're going to get like a hunk of junk. So there's like the theory versus reality, which is the perspective architecture, which is like the planned architecture. And then there's the descriptive architecture, which is like what we really captured and what is actually implemented into our system. After that, you kind of gave us some examples on the Linux kernel, the iRODs, showing both the perspective architecture and then the descriptive architecture. Just making sure really quickly that I'm getting everything on the Trello as I go. So you also showed like the Napster P2P example, and then you went into your example with the microfluidics, how pretty much like what it is and like how it works, how you could just put like micro droplets of data and it could like bounce it around all across depending on what type of what it is. You showed like the cool little video on that, and then you kind of showed the synthetic process, which how you have scheduling, the placement, the routing, the pin mapping, array wire routing, and then the placement and wire routing. So, and then you pretty much talked about how you did it, because obviously you couldn't just go in and write 8,000 lines of code and expect it to work without some sort of plan. So in your demo of this, you showed the SA protocol and all these like cool little graphs and everything, and then you showed the architectural description, and how you could come how you mentioned at towards the end that every once in a while you go back onto there and you're like, all right, what could I do to like fix anything or upgrade it? Excuse me. And then you are like, man, like this is crazy that this is working. I don't know what it means anymore because you haven't like touched it recently, but you could implement something new if you wanted to into these different aspects just because of how you architecturally designed it. So all right, I'm going to show a little bit of the architectural design behind this like Tupi game thing. Can I flip the camera? I don't think I can. So this here has like the server, the middleware, protocols, wireless barriers, and then the clients. That is the game architecture of this app called Tupi. So pretty much like what they have is they have to create the server, they have to encode the server, make wireless access to the server, make it go to the router. It shows the different protocols like the wireless access point, HTTP, TCP/IP, and then this other thing called GW. The GW is for Bluetooth, so that way it could work on mobile phones and PDA. There's a DigiTV channel that comes out of the router so that we could play it on DigiTV. This is an older game too. It can be played on mobile phones based off of the WAP. And then the HTTP and TCP/IP can be played off of smartphones and then PC as well. Yeah, I think that's more the actual design architecture. I think this here is the perspective architecture, where it has like the use case, logic view, process view, implementation, and deployment view. It pretty much kind of says something very similar, just more in a high level term. So pretty much what the game is, it's like a little mini card game. I actually don't understand how the game is played, but because it's not like an American game, I just kind of found it. But oh, here it is. The card game is chosen as the object of development called Tupi. Tupi is a card game from northern Finland, traditionally played by lumberjacks in their spare time. It's similar to a bridge game and can be referred to as the Arctic Bridge or Lumberjacks Bridge. It's played by 2 to 4 players. The aim of the game is to play rounds and collect tricks. The team that reaches the 52 tricks is the winner, and the other team is said to be in Tupi. And Tupi is, oh, I clicked on something. Tupi is the thought of something else. But yeah, anyway, it's like a little card game that's on mobile. So yeah, that's my video. Goodbye.